Well everyone, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Before we start the percentage, I will introduce my group. We are from group 6. I am Elvira de Efrotin Sulu as moderator and second presentator. Also my friend Astri Anggraini Ramadhani as first presentator and Nur Indah as third presentator. In this percentage, we will present what cultural terms of Oculesics is. And cultural terms of Oculesics have three parts. First is eye contact, second is eye movement, and the last is gaze direction. The first part will present by my friend Astri Anggraini Ramadhani.
Okay, thanks for my friends as moderator. But before we start talking about eye contact, we must know what is cultural term Oculesics. Oculesics, a subcategory of kinesis, is the study of a movement, a behavior, a gaze, and a related nonverbal communication. The specific definition varies depending on whether it applies the field like social sciences. Eye contact is an event when two people look into each other and something. Eye contact is a form of non-verbal communication called Oculesics and has a great influence on social behavior. In some cultures, eye contact is a way to earn someone's respect. Eye contact also plays an important role in non-verbal communication. When a person looks straight and blinks is considered to be able to show various emotions that are in him. For example, when you meet someone you respect, such as a professor, the blink gradually increases and the pupils dilate. Eye contact is often used as a benchmark to determine whether someone is telling the truth or not. Normal steady eye contact is often seen as said that someone telling the truth and carrying truth. Conversely, if you are lying, people will tend to offer their gaze, as are one of the most important body language. Therefore, when we communicate with the other person, we must to maintain eye contact with the other person. As we can see in the picture, we can see that the point in that when you want to tell to your friend on a culture, of course, you will make eye contact as a sign that you and the other person are ready to tell to each other. This is included in the culture of speech. The next part will be present by second presentator Elvira de Efrotin Sulu.
The second is eye movement. What is eye movement? Eye movement is the study of the direction of view to which the eye is looking. Eye movements include intentional or unintentional eye movements. And also there are four basic types of eye movements. First is saccades. A saccade is a rapid, conjugate eye movement that shifts the center of gaze from one part of the visual field to another. Second is smooth pursuit movements. The eyes move smoothly instead of jumps. They are called pursuit because this type of eye movement is made when the eyes follow an object. The third is Vergens movements. Vergens movement is the simultaneous movement of the two eyes in opposite directions to obtain or maintain binocular vision. Vestibulo-ocular movements. The vestibulo-ocular movements is a reflex acting to stabilize gaze during head movements with eye movement due to activation of the vestibular system. From the picture, we can see that there are directions of eye movement. While communicating these directions can define something, like first, looking up. It's usually done when the other person is bored or wants to try to stop the conversation. The second is looking down. Actually, the movement of eyes from eye contact and then looking down has many meanings but in general it could be that the other person is afraid to our presence or submissive. It can also mean that the other person is bored with what we are talking about. The third is looking to the top right or top left from our point of view. The other person is trying to remember a real visual that he or she has seen or experienced before. For example, when we ask what color clothes she wear last night, she will tend to remember by looking at the top right. Fourth, looking to the right or left. This can also be defined as the interlocutor is remembering. But generally, when the eye moves sideways from eye contact, it means the other person is looking at something interesting or distracting. For example, when you are talking to a friend and behind a friend about 10 meters away by a lecturer, we know automatically after eye contact with a friend while talking, we'll move towards the lecturer. Fifth, look to the right or bottom left. The interlocutor is remembering forms or types or conversations that he has experienced, even something that he has not felt before and is real. 6. Looking to the top left, top right for our point of view. The other person is imagining or a new visual that he has never seen before. Let's take an example from my discussion with my roommate a few weeks ago. Previously, just for information that we really like to talk about random things. So at the time, she asked me, what are the criteria for a partner that I like? When I think about what I like without realizing it, I will automatically look the top right.
Okay guys, the last part is gaze direction. What is gaze direction? The direction of gaze is an integral part of our social life and is relatively docile for experimental studies, as it can define what is being viewed. For example, when talking to a friend or lecturer, focus on the direction of the gaze of the friend or lecturer. This includes cultivating good culture. The direction of your gaze tells the viewer what you are looking at and where you are looking at. This might be the object of common concern or the observance ourselves. Thus, this direction of your gaze is a powerful social signal of your intentional and the action you will take. And gaze plays a role in many social behavior that rely on attention and behavioral interpersonal coordination, learning, and acting together. Eyes can also send various nonverbal messages. When we communicate, we can read someone's body language through their eye movement. Then, when communicating with other people, some types of other people's eyes can also be defined as what he feels when communicating. Some of these eyes are: first, consistent eye gaze, which means that the listener is interested in what we produce. Second, it indicates that the listener is not very interested in what we see. Third, ignore eye contact. This situation can be defined that the conversation will not be interested in what is being discussed. It could also be that the other person is afraid or terrified when communicating. The fourth, gaze maintenance or prolonged eye contact. This gaze means that the listener is less likely to believe what we are coming for. Thank you.
Okay guys, here is our percentage on cultural terms of Oculesics. Thanks for the attention and listening our percentage. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.